Well, the event was, we started planning it last year because 25 years on Wednesday is the day that we beat Celtic in the Cup. Speaking about Celtic, a big thank you to Celtic for allowing us to have the League Cup here today for everybody to see, and I think half the crowd or 3/4 of the crowd have had their photograph taken with it. There's about 7 or 8 former players here today, and it just shows what they feel about the club and what the club means to them. The iconic strip we've got, with the help of the Kilgour brothers, they have helped us. We have got 500 retro strips. Yesterday afternoon, I think we had over 300 went sold. So it's thank you to all the fans. It's really a fantastic gesture from you all, and it just shows how much the day means and meant to everybody that was here.
It was tremendous. The wee things stack up over because we were left on the Thursday night, didn't we, to go down to Erskine, and staying in the hotel in Erskine, and we turned up at Boghead on the Friday morning to train. I'm going, this is strange, isn't it? You know what I mean? And then the Saturday morning we end up in some church ground somewhere with a set of goals, and we played a wee game of football, and I'm saying, we've got a cup final tomorrow, do you know? And then it was the Saturday afternoon. That's when it really kicked in, the Saturday afternoon for me, because we went to Ibrox.
That's right.
And we got allowed out on the pitch, and we got allowed to, and you know what it's like before the game, there's nobody there, but you can see all the guys putting stuff out. And
but Rangers were giving us studs and everything, weren't they? They were advising us about, this is the studs you should be using on this park and everything else. So they were really helping us as much as they possibly could, because obviously they wanted us to beat Celtic. So that was a great experience.
Players win you things. People behind the scenes help you win the things. I'll give you a perfect example. I walk in here today, and as much as I speak to Ali, blah blah, we bump into each other. See, to meet people like John Valenti, who on a Thursday night we would go up after training.
Well, when I first signed, do you remember I first signed? And you took me, that was the very first thing you done.
You
took me down to Valenti's and we got a fish supper. We were going to play Dundee that day.
Yeah,
and
these are the people that, and people don't think that, because people think, and quite rightly so, because I'm quite a selfish person, but people think you're selfish and it's all about you. It's not. It's about the people. You know, when I started off there with Frank Connor and John Brown Jaggy and all that, and people that looked after you, and you went in there and they tried to make it the best football club they possibly could, not in a great budget. And you never forget them. They're the important ones. They're the ones that wash your socks. They're the ones that make sure you're training gear. They're the ones that go, do you want a cup of tea? They'll go and get you a cup of tea. They never take the credit for. We were very fortunate. We get put in a great position with great people, and we won a cup. But these people should take a lot of credit for it. And you know, so I'm delighted to see them tonight. And
I think as well, Daz, when you look at the bench, when Tomo saves the penalty in the cup final, and it shows you the bench, and you see they get Valenti and all that, what it means to them all running on the park. I mean, absolutely brilliant, great memories, you know.
They were very fit and always ready, to be honest. I think Jimmy had instilled that fitness belief, and I think we all had a wee bit of a hand in the extra conditioning away from the training, if you like, the wee extra bits that he did in the gym. Even in the days we were into gym work and doing plyometrics and jumps and sprints, and so we certainly, Jimmy gave us a place and let us input into things like that, you know. But as you mentioned earlier, the great bunch of boys, and it was an all-round team effort. So it was, in many ways, it was easy to just fall into that pattern, because they were so willing to do things and learn and take on everything that we gave them. Really, yeah.
It was a pleasure to do that. Being a supporter, you know, just to do that, I would have done anything for them, you know.
No, John's obviously a supporter for me.
The only thing I couldn't do was play.
I know, but you played your part, and I think everybody did, and everybody was made to feel welcome, and the spirit, the team spirit just carried us for a few years, really, and the squad that was built there. It was just one of the happiest moments of my career, I must admit.
It was a special time for Raith Rovers and us in particular, that it doesn't happen very often, you know, and we just had a great blend, you know, good experienced players, they had good banter, and young cocky guys like ourselves coming through, you know, and there was just a good blend. And the point is, it didn't just stop when we finished training or finished games, you know, and that was the key, I think, to us, that nights out, you know, you're talking about, I seen something that somebody was saying, I wish we were like yous were back then, because on our nights out we get 5 or 6 bodies, you know, you'd be lucky if there was 5 or 6 in the whole squad that didn't go on our nights out, you know. Everybody made a point of being together, and because of that, you know, you got to know each other and know just the footballing side of things away from that, and then it meant a lot, that so much so that when you're on the park and maybe something's not gone for somebody, the rest of us pulled in together and got them through the games, you know, and you didn't have that if you've not got that bond, and we had that bond at that time.
A kind of unearthed gem from the vaults is that we managed to get some footage of the Kilmarnock game. So the infamous overhead kick that that thousands claim to have seen but nobody's seen for 25 years is, you know, we're going to be able to make that available. What do you remember of that game? Because it was electric at Starks Park.
It's easy to remember. I mean, you know, I didn't score many hat-tricks. In fact, I think that's only my second one. I scored one at Sligo Rovers when I was on loan, and then that one against Kilmarnock. So it was pretty easy to remember, you know. I think looking at it, it was almost the whole saying, the perfect sort of hat-trick. I think the first was a volley, the second over a kick, and the third was a wee, I think it was a flick on for Ali Graham, and I've just made the run beyond, and it's just a wee lift with the left foot over the goalkeeper. And it's maybe taken 25 years for it to actually come out, because that's one thing that you know, I thought obviously Ali Graham's hat-trick and then my own, it never really got talked about that much, because
that's right.
But that's fine, because what was more important is what happened at the end, and we were able to win the cup, you know.
Yeah. And I said it at the Hall of Fame, we were a family club. That was the difference, we were a family club, and we socialised together. If you went out, we all went out. And if anybody was like, during the week that we'd play golf and train hard, play hard, and then we'd enjoy ourselves. But you knew going out in Kirkcaldy on a Saturday, it wasn't just you, it was 50 or 100 people else.
To have heart and to have the staff I had, Jerry Duck, the physio, which I took to Millwall, and GT and Deke and all them, John Valente, Kitman, just people, the whole club. And it was just one of them things in football, you felt it snowballing. You felt there's something going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen at the end of it. You don't think for 1 minute they're going to achieve what they achieve, but at least your working day, the environment, your football, the weekends, is so enjoyable. You know, you think, hopefully they win something. I think the biggest thing with Raith Rovers is it was your first job, it was your first attempt at this side of the game, and you know, it was a successful time, which was great.
We're delighted to have been part of that journey, and for all of us who watched all of the games that your teams played, can only thank you, Jimmy. Well,
I've got to thank the board at the start to go full time, you know, because Frank Connor did a great job, and I went in a difficult situation because Frank was really popular, but the fact was that they finished 7th at the end of that season. The top 6 teams were full time. If you want to be top of the part-time clubs every year, it's up to you, but the board were good enough to finance full time, and that's what kicked it all off, so I owe them a lot.